Good morning, Peter. It's Sunday. So when you first handed me this book to read, I looked at the back of it and I'm like, children dying of cancer. This seems like a fun read. No thanks, Peter. And what you told me was this book was so good that if I read it and didn't like it, I had full permission to punch you in the stomach as hard as I could. And I was like, okay, from your brother, that's a pretty compelling guarantee. And I read it. It became my second favorite book, and I started following the author on YouTube. And that led me to go to VidCon, where I purchased this poster you see behind me on the wall. It says, "This star won't go out." You might ask yourself, what star? Well, the star in question is Esther, and Esther is Persian for star. Esther was a nerd fighter, aka a fan of this author and his brother. And she had cancer, and she was 16 years old, and because of her illness, she couldn't get out of the house much, and so she had this rich online social life that she was able to have, even though she was confined to the house by illness. And she was a YouTuber, she made her own vids. When she died, her parents started this charity called This Star Won't Go Out, which raises money for families of children with cancer, because cancer puts a huge strain on a family's budget, and then you have the strain of having no money on top of the strain of having a child dying of cancer. I listened to Esther's mom at my panel I went to at VidCon. It was called "With Great Viewership Comes Great Responsibility," which I think was an awesome name for a panel. So sitting in this panel, I was thinking, Esther must have inspired this Fault in Our Stars book, and I googled it afterwards, and sure enough, I was right. And I find this interview with John Green, link in the doobly-doo. Question: how much of Esther went into the novel? John replies, much of the story was inspired by her and my friendship with her and my affection for her family and friends, but I didn't take very many specific things from her life. What inspired me most was Esther's unusual mix of teenagerness and empathy. She was a very outwardly focused person, very conscious of and attentive to her friends and family, but she was also silly and funny and totally normal. And in our conversations about heroism and strength or whatever, she was very conscious of cliches, many of which I threw at her, but mostly unconvinced by them. I just really liked Esther. That was maybe the biggest thing. I really liked her. And I was really pissed off after she died. I like that he says he was pissed off. Now, Peter, we come to the part of the video which is about you. The whole time I knew you when we were growing up, you were always very jolly and very silly, very determined to make other people laugh. And in all my recent conversations with you, they've been very interesting and very intellectual and deep and complex conversations, but there just hasn't been as much goofiness as usual. Maybe like John Green, you're just pissed off with the world right now, but unlike John Green, you haven't come to emotional terms with it by writing a best-selling novel. So naturally, of course, what did I do? I was like, my brother's sad. I think I'll make a video about children dying of cancer, and that will be sure to cheer him up. And so then I ran away and made this video. No. I don't know, you've been grappling with some really serious issues of how the world is fucked up, and you'd like to make it less fucked up, and, you know, you've made amazing progress on that, and I'm really proud of you, and I'm really proud that you're going to be volunteering for the, this is really silly, because I'm crying, and I'm going to put this on the internet and be embarrassed, but, I'm really proud of you that you're volunteering for this, domestic violence shelter. I think through leading discussions with various people in your lives about how we stereotype others and judge them and put them into boxes and how we shouldn't do that and we should see people complexly. I think just by sparking those conversations, you've already made a big difference. And you've made a difference in the way I do my work, you know, for certain. Well, I'll just read you a little bit of this email I wrote today. The reason we, the liberal activists, are failing is because we dehumanize the people we are trying to change. Someone is not going to listen to you if they sense your lack of respect for them. For us to make social change possible, we need to change our way of being towards the 1%, towards the Christian right, towards big oil, etc. If I want to change someone's attitude towards gay marriage, I cannot do it by deciding they are bigoted assholes and I am better than them. I can't yell at them, "Have some empathy for gay rights, you retards!" So Mom said to me this morning, and I think it's very true, that the best way to lead is by modeling the desired behavior. And I think in this case, the desired behavior is empathy. We want the Christian right to feel empathy for gay people. But we aren't really modeling the desired behavior because we feel no empathy for the Christian right. We don't try and understand their point of view. We don't try and understand why they're scared. We don't show respect for the things they value. And so it's no wonder they're not, feeling cross-cultural empathy. And us, the liberal activists, we're not feeling empathy for this, Southern Christian culture, which is alien to us. And that's not to say that gay rights isn't desperately important to me, because it is. And really, this is just an example and a larger point, which is you will never, ever change someone by thinking they are evil. You will only change someone by believing in the good in them. This is a really bloody long video now, Peter, so I think I'll wrap up, and I will see you whenever you make your bloody video. Hug.